What's up, dog?
What is up, Mr. Feldman?
I'm keeping it real.
Very nice.
You just asked me when I did the mustache. I was 25.
25.
Yep. I grew it out because I felt like I earned it.
So,
When'd you grow the beard? Sorry.
I mean, the beard grows in like five days. It's a 5 day. It's a 5 day life cycle, and it's like because I've been thinking about growing out a mustache, but I don't. I think I need to just kind of like because it doesn't. It gets too like patchy sometimes. It's very thin, my hair up here, so I need to
it looks thick. It looks like it's thick. Yeah.
I think I need to like trim the beard down so it doesn't look so ridiculous.
Oh, like
just
let the mustache grow out a bit and then
exactly. Kind of like the structure you have right now.
I appreciate that. Yeah, if I did the beard and the mustache at the same time, it would look a lot worse, I think.
Really?
So like me already having the mustache and then trying to do a little bit of a beard is like definitely the mustache is saving it. I think. I don't know. It's very patchy to start, I think.
Yeah.
Shit fuck.
What was like what was the best thing you found in your mustache?
Fucking let's see. Probably when I'm eating bugs, if I get like an insect limb in there, that's pretty funny. I don't know.
just little
like a cricket leg or something.
Cricket legs and cricket kidneys.
Wait, I definitely like now I know that when I drink a liquid, it gets in the mustache.
Yeah.
And so I'm subconsciously prepared for that. Anytime I'm drinking something, I have a napkin at hand to immediately like wipe it off.
Take it all
you know
down.
What I mean? Yeah.
Eventually it'll reach like full saturation, and it will rain. It will rain Arizona iced tea.
That'd be great.
That'd be really cool.
You know, there's like acid rain or whatever.
Yeah.
They should do that, but they should like pump it full of Arnold Palmer or something.
You know, I was thinking about like how Arizona iced teas, they're so big.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have vending machines with Arizona iced tea.
Really?
I don't think so. Like not like the big cans. Imagine like the big cans just like boom, like falling down.
For 99 cents or like
yeah, literally like kids will like put their hands in the vending machine, it will fall down and they will break their hands.
Like vending machines kill more people every year than like deer.
Really?
I mean, deer. Well, I should also clarify that deer kill a lot of people.
Yes.
Like the most of like any animal.
Via car accidents and not bludgeoning with weaponry.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that. I wonder if more people. More people die from like deer directly attacking them or from like cars.
I don't think deer really go after people like that.
No, they do. If you get, I mean, that you're right, but like if you get close to like a deer or something, if it's like at the horns, it'll like self-defense.
Yeah.
Any animal will do self-defense, man.
Yeah.
Let's get you more. Come over here a little bit. What's up?
What's up,
dog?
I mean, there's like a deer park by my parents. They stay in the summer by like near Asbury Park, like South Jersey area. There's like a huge deer park there, and you see them kind of like hang out. But yeah, the roads are just. They're jumping out anytime they want.
Yeah.
They have no they have no rhyme or reason. But I've never really seen a deer attack someone. But vending machines are brutally dangerous.
I've never seen a vending machine attack anybody either. To be fair, I think it's like if you scare it, you know what I mean. If you get it in a corner, if you attack one of its children, like a mini fridge or something,
right? If you
the mama bear protects the young.
Yes, exactly. What do you think is like the hierarchy of the vending machines? Do you think snacks is the snacks versus drinks?
Oh, here's a thought: the technology level. You know, they've got those vending machines where it goes like and like grabs a specific one and like pulls it over.
It's too much. I don't need that. I don't need that.
Drop. But it gets all fizzy if it's like a soda in the. Like if it's buying a kombucha.
Okay, but that's the experience I want. I want. Yeah, you're like the point is like you're in a moment. We're in a fucking bind. You need something.
Yeah.
So
it needs to be annoying.
It's not something that has to be annoying. There needs to be a unpredictability to it because that's a situation you set yourself for. I believe there has to be a little risk. These vending machines, it's too much technology and. I'm not for it. Dude,
I was immediately having this weird flashback. I went on a 7-hour bus ride recently down to Richmond.
Okay.
And the bus driver was like, no food or drink on my bus. If I catch you getting food or drink, I'm kicking you off and calling the authorities.
What
and I was like,
authorities?
yeah, I was like, what? And so I immediately complained to like the bus company because I'm not like this guy. I'm not trying to get this guy. I was kind of trying to get this guy like in trouble a little bit because he was like yelling at people. He was kicking people off.
The union's
like,
gonna be
stuff.
at your door.
I was like, I don't know. Listen, he was like being a real piece of shit. Like people who had tickets, he wasn't letting them on the bus.
Because they had food and drink?
No, some people showed up. They showed up on time and were just like in the line. And then like the time hit and he was like, yeah, I can't let you on. And they were like, we are here. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And then like,
I love this power. I love this power struggle.
He was clearly like power tripping. Yeah. And then like on the way back, he was like, who needs like, let's do a quick, he's like, who needs to get back to New York quickly?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, yes. Everybody was like, yes, of course. And he's like, oh, okay, then we will not be doing any stops, like any like rest stops or whatever. And everybody was like, well, we didn't know you were doing like a vote thing. We didn't know what are you talking? What? Like,
I've always had this belief that
we rose up. What?
I've always had this like belief that you go on like a plane, you go on like a bus. There, you should be able to revote for the destination. If you go on a plane to like, I don't know, like you got to go to like St. Louis, people are like, you know what, we could go to Vegas, and people are like, fuck it, let's go to Vegas. They should be allowed.
Yeah,
it should be changes. It should be room for popular demand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, this guy, you know, he's got a tough job. He's driving a bus for hours. But at the same time, we're also on a 7-hour bus ride. I need to be able to eat food. Yeah. I'm going to be extremely hungry if you don't let me eat food. That's ridiculous.
No, it's
and
criminal.
So we rose up. We all were like, dude, if you don't like let us eat or like pull over and let us eat somewhere, like we're going to like I don't know.
We're gonna cry.
Like we will cry.
We will scream, cry.
It's like, what are you doing? So he brought us over to a rest stop, and he gave us all 15 minutes. He's like, if you're not back on the bus, I'm leaving without you. And I went to a vending machine. I got like some food, and I was like, I can't eat this immediately. Like, so I just I snuck it in my jacket, and I just ate I was like near the front of the bus. And I just started eating anyway. And I was like, what's he going to fucking do? What's he going to fucking do?
And
I don't know.
This guy reminds me a lot of my stepdad. Very, very. This is very stepdad energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Just really because it's a hard job stepping up to the situation, but damn, they're going to make some rules that are insane.
Yeah.
They're going to make that happen.
When'd you get a stepdad? How old were you?
I was like 5.
Oh, so I
was 5. So it was like, yeah, pretty much like.
Did you rebel?
Did I? Yes, I mean,
like immediately, or was that like?
I mean, I think
too young. I don't know.
I think it was like I didn't really. I think there was just like this weird rivalry between my stepdad and my actual dad. And
he was still in the picture.
My dad, yeah, I used to go to my dad like on weekends, like every other weekend or something like that. And he was like, he's like a surgeon, like a heart surgeon. So,
and the stepdad was only like a foot surgeon. Or
he was
some secondary, some lesser surgeon.
He had a DO. He's studying in the Caribbean. I don't believe this.
Like, you know what, like 10% of, or what is it? What's some percentage of LASIK fails? He's that guy. He's the one who does bad LASIK.
He's in the 1% of LASIK. Just people who only see the color green everywhere they go.
And what did he?
I mean, he like at first my stepdad was actually kind of like a semi-professional bowler.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like through like the 80s and early 90s, like bowling in tournaments.
Do people know him?
I mean,
if you're in the bowling,
if you're in the bowling, I think it's pretty neat. But it's pretty like occasionally like you go around to like alleys in like New York, which is where I'm from and where he's from. It's like, oh yeah, he's got like a plaque for like bowling a 300. It's like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. But at the same time, like I feel like my dad kind of like sort of like in a way kind of like brainwashed me and like my siblings to like I'm a doctor.
Hmm.
He's a bum. Like he's like not particularly like worthy. Like his accomplishments are nowhere close to mine. So it kind of like rubbed off on me. So you always had like a sense of like, oh, I don't really respect you as much as my dad. But eventually you grow older, you realize, oh yeah, like my dad was actually like a kind of a piece of shit too.
Yeah.
Like,
when did that shift? When do you feel like college? I feel like that's when a lot of people like get
Really,
the distance and the perspective.
it was definitely college, and my dad also had like, so he remarried and got like divorced again, and yeah, I mean, the fallout of that was like really really bad, and I kind of just saw like a lot more of just kind of like the dark side of like.
You had a temporary stepmom.
Yeah,
What did she do? Was she any?
She was a nurse.
Oh.
She was a nurse. He was a doctor.
Oh, is that a?
That's how I explain the story.
A little power. There's a little power dynamic. Sorry, I'll let you keep going with that story.
For sure. No, it definitely. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened, but I think they were just kind of like seeing each other in the units while.
They met at work.
They met at work.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
So like their marriage at first was like really, it was pretty strong because there's like that common denominator. Like you work in medicine, you understand these hours are really long and tough. So there's like a general understanding of that, but it's just like the life of like, that of a heart surgeon in a way is just not so suitable for like a family because you're on call a bunch, you're out and about, and it's just kind of like he just didn't have as much time for her, and he had like kids with her too, and just like. Oh,
are you close with them at all? Like half siblings?
I have siblings. It's hard. I keep in touch. For sure. Now they're in college. Like,
did you ever live together, like on the weekend? Like,
just on the weekends, yeah.
Because I know some people who had half siblings that they lived with for years, and so that you become much closer if you're literally in the same home.
So on my mom's side, I have that. I have a younger brother, my younger half brother, who's like, yeah, certainly a lot like pretty much like my brother.
Closer in age?
They're about the same age difference between the two. Between the two half siblings, like my mom and dad's side, but. Yeah, I'm just like closer with my mom's side because just like live with him. Yeah. And I saw it all. I saw what he's about. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because it just kind of like makes. I feel like I like growing up with my stepdad. He was just a lot more. He was like boomer type of energy of like my way or the highway. Kind of like, nah, my way, no rest stops on the highway.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
my way, we're getting to New York quickly.
yeah.
On the highway.
A trick vote, yeah.
A trick vote.
I'm like having flashbacks about that. I was so hungry.
Dude, I once took a megabus from...
He made me put my food in like the lower compartment at first. I would have just like snuck it and ate it, but I like put it like in the down, and I was like, I should just be eating on this bus. So what were you saying?
No, I mean, I have flashbacks sometimes when there's like blizzards. I once took a megabus from Boston. I went to visit some friends at BU, and then we went down. We were coming back to New York, and it was a snowstorm. It was literally a 13-hour bus ride because the snow kept like messing up the roads. They had to stop, and then because of like the union laws, they had to switch the drivers. We had like 3 different drivers over.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was insane.
What's the union law? Is it 8 hours? Is that the?
I think it's like I think it's like 8 hours. So it was absurd.
Actually, I had the same guy down and up. So like down, I like after the ride, I almost thought about like going over to him and being like, "Hey man, like you're like okay." See, the food thing wasn't the only thing he did. Yeah. He like yelled at people.
I love this
he
is
like
very
kept
much
lying.
on your mind.
Dude, I don't know. It's like
got through all the permutations.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I was like, it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. But so anyway, I thought about going over to him and being like, "Hey man, like I want you to know, like you're like a piece of shit."
Yeah.
Like I don't do that to people, but I thought about like being like, "Look, man, that's deeply unkind of you." Like that's 7 hours, and like you're like not letting people eat food or like drink. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I don't know.
He wants you to fast Yom Kippur for us. He's like, you missed too many Yom Kippurs. We're gonna get it in.
I don't know.
We're gonna everyone.
But like he just like he stayed in the seat and like leaving the bus or whatever. And then like when he was coming out to the luggage stuff, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm off the bus. And then I had him on the way back, and I was like, oh my god, if I had like said that, he would not let me on the bus. And I was like, when I was getting off in New York, I was like,
that's very curb-esque.
I like they had like I have to get. I'm getting on the bus again. He like sees me and the music starts playing or whatever.
I also like that you're not saying the company of the bus and just in case.
I don't know. It was Flick's bus.
Oh, it's Flick's. Yeah.
But
like with my stepdad, he was like strict. He was like really strict. So it's just kind of like, I think I just built out like humor as like a point of like deflection, just like de-escalation of situations, because I kind of drank a decent amount, and especially like whatever, like Orthodox Judaism, that type of shit. It's like Friday nights is no TV, no technology.
Also, by the way, you did a great job. Like with as a podcast host, I should ask that about that. And it was like, this bus ride sucked. And you're like purposefully re-railing back to like the deep and interesting stuff. Good job with that,
Benny.
So
Benny, let me tell you something.
I just got like heated thinking about this fucking bus ride. But yes, you're
I see this
father.
You have to see the ones and twos are racing right now on this heartbeat.
You did the Sabbath. You did the Sabbath and everything. You did all that shit.
Did all
Did you do the cheating stuff, like turn the TV on and everything?
So like we started off like that, and it was like, yeah, TV was like kind of chill, but then my mom was like, yeah, TV's not really in the spirit of Shabbat. I'm like, we're like, the Knicks are depressing. Like, can we just like hang out and watch them? Like, it just gets us in a chill mood. And she's like, oh no, like, I don't know, we don't want TV. So then we stopped watching TV. So then like, Friday night dinner was like, cause like whatever, my stepdad would drink a little bit, and then it would just kind of like, it would like devolve into like him kind of like not really being able to handle liquor, and now we're just all on this table being interrogated about some shit. Like, so it was always like, it was rough. Like,
are you guys on good terms now?
We're on good terms now. I think
Sure.
now, like, you just kind of like, you just understand more like what type of stress he was under, just like through like being, not only being a step parent, but also like marrying into my mom's family, which is a lot more like, it's very like traditional Arab Jewish, like the Arab structure of like, it's like there's a huge power dynamic between, this is the family, like my mom's family is kind of well off, but my stepdad worked for my uncle. It's that type of thing. There's
Gotcha.
like, okay, so like the uncles are like the powerful ones, and we're the
Hell yeah.
we're the ones who are taking a Flix bus from Richmond.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
That type of shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it was, and it's a hard thing to like kind of navigate. You understand what that means.
I know you're Sephardic Jewish. Is the in my head Arab Jewish is Mizraim? Is that the?
It's synonymous. They're synonymous terms.
Oh, I thought it was. Is it like the Mizraim that went to Spain, or what's?
Yeah,
is
exactly.
that the
So like a
concept? Okay.
majority, there is like people who are like Sephardic, where they never really, who are like descend from Portugal and Spain, and then went to the Americas.
Yes.
Like in America. But a majority did go to like either Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, or like Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, like Iraq. Like, so my family is traditionally from Spain, but then moved towards Syria and Lebanon.
Really?
So,
oh, that's
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So both my
Sort of
like,
a reverse Jewish diaspora. That's interesting.
yeah. It is
I
interesting.
was gonna say, just to clarify for people who aren't familiar, most people are familiar with most American Jews are Ashkenazi, Eastern European Jews.
This guy.
I'm Ashkenazi Jewish.
Yeah, he is.
I'm actually only half.
Yeah.
But shit, fucking. But the kind of what he's saying is the other, like, those are the when all the Jews had to leave Israel and the Levant. I mean, fucking just Google this shit. But or whatever. I don't know.
Be a fucking grown up and Google this shit.
Google it.
Fucking
Google Sephard. The types of Jews.
Google types of Jews. Really, the point I always, the joke I always say is like, uncut gems, those are Sephardic Jews. Okay? If you need a way to kind of like delineate between the two of them, those are them. So
Actually, I don't know. Well, I don't know too many Sephardic Jews, and I'll be honest, I don't know. Maybe I do, and I just didn't know it. But I think a lot of the Jews in my area were like every Jew at my synagogue, as far as I could tell, was Ashkenazi, and the way I'm basing that off of is purely physiology, purely like they all look Eastern European.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're studying their phenotypes, and
Yeah,
said
yeah,
there is
yeah.
a consistency.
My dad is he's partially Middle Eastern.
Okay.
To only like 10%, but so he has darker skin. He's very clearly
Armenian.
no,
Armenian.
like he's definitely like Caucasus region partially.
Okay.
I don't know. We'd have
Gotcha.
to do another, do like a test or whatever, figure it out.
We're
We did a genetic test like several years
I don't
ago.
trust those.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that shit.
I haven't done it, but yeah,
I don't know
parents
why
did.
they wanted. They pushed it so hard. There was like a year where it was like you gotta do what were the names of the tests? I forget.
23andMe,
23andMe.
Ancestry or
I'm
whatever,
like,
yeah.
you guys really want this shit.
Yeah.
You really want this information. I'm
Like,
like,
there's a government, or I think Mormons own it or something. But I don't know if they own it or if it's like they're really invested heavily in it because they keep detailed records for some reason. I don't know why.
which I think is cool.
It is
I think
interesting.
record
I like
keeping-
genealogy.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. No, it's really cool.
I would love to know.
Yeah.
I agree with you where I'm like not sure I trust it, but at the same time I totally want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. What? So are you Arab on both sides or span or like?
Yeah, both my mom and my dad are born and raised in Lebanon, and then moved to the States in like the late '80s, mid '80s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it Arabian? Is that what you say, or is it? Do you say Arab or I don't fucking know.
It's yeah.
Lebanese.
It's Lebanese.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's hard. Cause like
I don't mean to be disrespectful. I just don't want to learn the proper language terms.
listen, Benny. This
I mean to be
be
disrespectful.
you, Benny Feldman apologized to the entire
Folks.
Arab community right here, right now. This is where it happened. It's weird because like you know the show Rami.
Oh yeah,
That
I
show,
haven't seen it, but I'm familiar.
like that show hits so hard for me because it deals with like the complexity of like being kind of like growing up in a religious environment, not only religious but like an Arab home. So it's like those two things, but also like dealing with like trying to secularize yourself and like being in New York and like the tri-state area. So like that whole world really hits hard for me. And like other shows that deal with like Jewish people and stuff like that, I haven't really understood in the past. Like Curb, like I don't
Like
get
the Ashkenazi,
like Ashkenazi stuff. I don't.
It's like different worlds.
It's very different for me. I don't really
Like
like.
Fiddler on the Roof or something.
Yeah.
Well, Fiddler on the Roof is like those were my ancestors. You know what I mean? That's what they were up to. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like that type of stuff, like which is like
Just dancing.
just
Just fucking all of them, dude.
When you're a crazy story, when my
Nope. Yeah, what?
when my grandpa came to America, they took him to a Broadway show, and they went to see Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, really? Then he was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Well, he literally brought like a bag of like pistachios. And was like eating them and throwing them on the floor, and he got kicked out.
Wow.
That's-
There, he got kicked out just like the Jews in Anatevka.
Absolutely,
Fucking-
absolutely. So funny.
Are there any like Sephardic Jewish stories in media that are like is Rami Muslim or is he?
It's Muslim.
Okay, so are there Jewish Arab stories in like media that are like I'm not familiar. with
Not
them.
really. Not really.
Sammy the Spider, is he Sephardic? I'm familiar. I did Sammy the
Clifford
Spider
the
joke
big
the other
red
day.
dog.
Nobody knew who the fuck Sammy the Spider. You know Sammy the Spider, right?
Who is Sammy the Spider?
Oh, he's
Is it not a children's book?
It's yeah. So it's a children's book about Hanukkah or whatever.
Right.
Where,
Yes.
like,
yes.
He's got 8 legs. There's 8 Hanukkah candles. Whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So like that literature just did not hit for me, bro. That literature did not hit.
I did a joke about it the other day. I was like, why did I assume any of these goys are familiar with Sammy the Spider?
Yeah.
Don't you guys hate when you get shamus and dreidel? Folks.
Don't you hear? Oh, I got shysted with shamus this year.
Don't you guys hate when the cantor has a cold?
Don't you hate when the cantor is such an ugly fuck? Don't you hate it? You gotta look at that guy.
Do you have a good cantor?
He's solid, I think.
We had a great cantor.
We had a good cantor.
Yeah.
I mean, also so it's interesting because like my dad.
It's the guy that sings at the synagogue.
Yo, I sing.
It's the rabbi, and then the cantor's the guy who has the beautiful voice and sings all the songs.
It sings all the songs, and Sephardic guys, they drag it out. It is a fucking performance for them. They all think they're like Bocelli. Like they're all trying to like get their big break.
I like Italian.
It's just like because there's like a rhythm where like there's certain parts where you sing. They play
Jewish
this.
Primus. What? Sorry, what? They have a rhythm?
There's parts where there's parts of the prayer where you're supposed to just say it, and there's parts where you're supposed to sing. And then there's like parts where it's like you could go one way or the other. If it's like a special occasion, you sing.
Oh yeah.
If it's not, you don't sing. And you're supposed to have like the social awareness of when that is. So, but especially when they bring in a new guy who's like it's like a contract year. They're trying to get the contract. And then it's like a fucking like Shabbat in February. Then everyone's just like cold as fuck and wants to go home and eat after.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's in the 2000s, every synagogue had a year where it was a big deal where they're like, there's a junior female rabbi, and everybody was like, oh. And it was like the biggest deal in the world.
I mean, yeah.
Do you remember? Did that happen for you too?
No.
Okay. I know a ton of people who like it happened at my synagogue. It happened at like the synagogue. I don't know.
That's
Because
cool.
there was like a progressive era, for Judaism for some reason. They're like, the new rabbi's gay, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Listen, I wish we got that far in Sephardic. I think that's the biggest problem. Like, because I'm proud of like my culture and heritage. I think it's really interesting, and I study up on it, and I learn a lot about it. But at the same time, like, I think Sephardic Jews struggle the most with, or like homophobia is way worse. Like it's really a problem, I think, and it's really tough to have those like try to like compartmentalize where I'm like with people who are like, I love that we share this culture and this bond, but at the same time, like, you are a rabid homophobic asshole. Like at the same time, like I think that's where like I appreciate like Ashkenazi American Jews, because they are a lot more like obviously there's sects and denominations that are terrible, but I think overall, especially like the modern Orthodox like sphere, they do a better job of like at least creating space for it. Like at like Hillel, or like in colleges, like they do that type of stuff where. But like there just really isn't enough organizations. I know a few like now that are starting to come up in New York, but
I like the idea of like somebody who's gay Orthodox, and like they do certain like subtle signals. They put the payas like behind the ear, they tuck it in some way or something to like let others know. Like the classic thing in like back in the day when it was like you do the one earring to signal.
Absolutely.
It's like now it's like the gay Orthodox do like if you wear the kippah a little to the left or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your tefillin is like it's like tie dye. It's a rainbow tefillin. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. It kind of sucks that like Sephardic people really struggle with homophobia.
I mean that's a major, large, like social issue. But that's big in the culture generally. But I'm curious, what are some of the like more specific, local to Judaism differences between Sephardicism and Ashkenazism that you can speak. Ashkenazism is so dominant in the culture. I feel like you'd be able to, like.
You're saying? Are you saying like in America or like?
I'd say in America, the diet cult like you're saying like curb like.
Yeah.
The generalized culture of the American Ashkenazi like Jew, versus the general culture of Sephardism. Like, what do you feel like are some of the differences there?
I think one puts a lot more weight towards like well, food is definitely a big thing. Food is very.
You don't fuck with matzah.
Ashkenazi food is dog shit.
Yo, I know.
It's so horrible. Bad.
Want to hear a joke?
Please.
So, like, if Jews are such globalists, why aren't they using all the flavors of the world, dude? Fucking get some, like, chili pepper in there, dude. Why are we still eating bread that, like, fucking you made in a hurry? What the hell is this bullshit?
It is
5,000-year-old recipe for bread you made it in 5 minutes. What?
I don't know what you guys are doing. There's like, I remember the first time I tried kugel. I'm like,
salt fish ball. Kugel's good. What the hell are you talking about?
I mean, some types.
Hold
are
on
good.
now. Okay.
Okay. There's certain.
This is where he loses me.
This is when the race war begins.
Hold the fuck on now. Well, kugel is just like the other shit's like representative and old Eastern. Kugel's. I feel like. I don't even know what the fuck it is off the top of my head. I know it's like a cheese lasagna with like apple or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You do hear yourself right now? A cheese lasagna with apple.
True.
What the fuck are you guys talking
about? No idea what I'm talking about. No idea. Good though. It's good.
Yeah, it's fine. But it's just like, what are you guys doing?
Sure. Well, what's the party food?
It's a lot of stuff that's like a lot of rice. It's heavy on rice and heavy on like stuffing like vegetables with like rice and ground beef and spices and stuff like that. And then there's like different types of like soups and things like that.
Is it more derived from Mediterranean food?
Yeah,
and like more Middle Eastern or Spanish, or like is that kind of depend on where your family's from?
Depends where you're from. So like Lebanese, like Lebanese food, like Jewish food is. It's really good.
Imagine if I was like, Lebanese food is dog shit. Imagine if that was my opinion. People would be.
You heard it here right now.
We're allowed to.
Egyptian food, Syrian food, Lebanese food could go to hell. You heard it here.
And the people. Oh my god.
Just send them
horrible people. I obviously I don't actually feel that way. And when I was 16,
it's not that obvious, but yeah, I believe it.
When I was 16, I went to Israel on a synagogue trip.
Yeah.
Folks, I don't support Israel's policies in different ways. Obviously, it's an apartheid state, whatever.
Apartheid.
But so don't take me going there when I was younger as an endorsement. But I was walking on the street. And
I hope you guys should know the camera's out of frame from a massive Israeli flag and Benny's. and this
Zionism rules. Arabs drool. Nice land you got there. Be ashamed if it was mine also.
From the river to the sea, Benny shall be free.
Zionism is nuts. It's just like.
Oh, we're going.
It's just like we're trying to make a Jew zone in the desert by force.
Yeah.
Horrible idea.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
I know we needed a place to go.
Yeah.
But like there were already people there. I mean, look, we could have done it better. Listen, it's
the foresight.
Fine. I don't know.
The foresight wasn't like, really there. But it's also like but it's like really interesting because like okay, Ashkenazi Jews.
Oh yeah, where were we going with this?
Zionism was born out of like Ashkenazi, like French, like French Jews and German Jews. Like that's where like the original like ideas were born out of. But like plenty of Jews were living in like the Middle East already.
Yeah.
Like in Lebanon, Iraq.
And they were on good terms with the Muslim community.
And and like, well, like the terms, there were terms.
There were terms. There were better terms.
There were certainly terms and conditions, but
it wasn't literally a war. Yeah.
No, exactly. And then that's why like the founding of Israel like kind of shook that up a lot more. And it's weird because like I feel like I would love to go. I'd love to like go to Lebanon. I really want to go.
Oh yeah.
But
wait. I lost that thread. I was saying I went to Israel. I was
Yeah.
going to tell you real quick, and then we'll get back to
Yeah,
I
for sure.
with the Lebanon thing. But I had this thing where I was supposed to ask people on the street, like, I was asking people on the street to tell me a joke.
Yeah.
And every joke that people told me was incredibly racist against Persians and Arabs in all these ways where they were like, oh, what do you do with a it was like all about how they were dirty and cheap. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
It's so insane.
But sorry, you want to go to Lebanon?
Class trip. We'll get the bus driver to drive us to Lebanon. 30 days.
Only
no
matzah.
food. No food allowed.
Dude, I went there during Passover.
Yeah.
Horrible decision.
Yeah.
Because like normally all the restaurants are phenomenal, but then it was just like
Oh, yeah,
all
they
I
shut it
had
all
for
down.
8 days was matzah.
Dude,
Horrible.
It's so bad. Like Sephardic Jews, so like we're different because we're allowed to eat rice on.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
like
shit.
So like the biggest deal, the biggest thing was like there's this rogue ass rabbi. There's this rogue ass rabbi who broke the metaphysical plane of
Sunglasses.
Judaism by he came up with this list of foods that were technically kosher for Passover, but not marked as kosher for Passover, including like Fruity Pebbles and things like that, because it's rice based. Dude, this shit shook the world. It was incredible because it was like, okay, do you go by the list? Do you not go by the list? And it was like, it's just like a major like thing. It's just so niche. But
Somebody eating Fruity Pebbles for every day of
no,
Passover.
it was like a thing. Like
this
you're
represents
eating-
the brick and mortar
Yeah.
of the ancestor or whatever.
Literally, it's like, oh my god, you're eating Fruity Pebbles, you're a crazy ass rebel. But now it's like, oh yeah, that's so obvious. Like obviously, all these foods are just like
Rice.
processed and rice, and like it's totally fine. But about like the racism towards Arabs in Israel, very much a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, my
it's
God.
really sad, especially even like the Mizrahi Jews there, like they make up I don't know if it's the majority. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but like a very significant portion of the population, and they literally have no representation in the Israeli parliament. They're second-class citizens entirely, just because of like that. Just because like they're Arab. So like the issue with Zionism in Israel as a structure right now is that it's so Eurocentric. It's based on it's Eurocentric racism, and it's really
It's
really
that it's racist.
shitty.
Yeah.
It's really racist.
It's the idea of like, oh, we need a place for the Jews to go, and there are already Jews there. The trouble is that they're Arab.
Yeah,
or whatever. It's like, well,
And-
it's like, well, you know what I mean?
It's like it's just a Western, just like a totally Western ideology.
yeah. I mean,
It is
dude, if they had just made Israel like fucking somewhere uninhabited, like a big swath of Greenland or something,
Right.
it would be chill as hell. Like how like Iceland is like
yeah.
they have all this geothermal technology and they're just chilling.
Yeah.
What if like all the Jews were just on like a southern relatively uninhabited part of Greenland where they're just kicking it? You know what I mean?
Listen,
It's probably
well,
the native population.
can I pitch something to you?
Yep.
I say, Ashkenazi Jews can all go to Iceland and Greenland, and
And the Mizrahi
and Mizrahi just can say, yeah, you guys can fuck off. We can hang out.
My ancestors came over in like the 1910s, before Israel was a state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From where?
They got pogromed outside of Kiev. Yeah. They
Pogrom.
talked about this a little bit before, but my
You just got pogromed.
KO. It's actually
They should make. This is so bad. They should make games that are built out of like the middle age pogroms, where it's just like levels that you have to like overcome. It's like consecutively through history, like you got to overcome like the pogroms of Iraq, the pogroms
Yeah,
of
like a game
Russia.
called, it's like Oregon Trail, but it's like called Diaspora, and you play as like a group of Jews getting shuffled around every like. It's like, all right, now you're Ellis Island,
You beat it.
New York, Philadelphia.
That's so funny.
Fucking no, yeah, my great grandfather and his brother went out fishing. They got back. The entire village was on fire and everybody was dead. So they made a run for it. Their sister was
It's like
already
cartoonish.
yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
That's so sad.
I think I went on Wikipedia and didn't realize, but pogroms are documented like carefully.
Yeah.
And so there's several Kiev pogroms, and I just Googled it and I was like, oh my god, so it was one of them. It was hard to tell which. I think it was maybe one of the 1913 or something like that.
Okay.
But I was like, there's a fucking Wikipedia page for this. You know what I mean? I don't know. It blew my mind. I mean, but they had a sister already over here, so she was able to help them get to America. Yeah.
And then they settled in Pennsylvania.
Well, they actually
go Birds.
Yeah.
Just on the boat. Fly Eagles fly. It's like,
I don't 100% know if it's the same side of the family. I mix the two. That's either my grandfather's parents. No. Okay, yeah. So I think it's my grandmother's dad, and then he became the Jewish mafia in Scranton.
Right. I remember you telling me
this.
Yeah. Wait, you gotta tell me more though.
His name's Max Katz. This is also documented because he went to court because he got caught. He went to jail.
Oh my god.
So he owned every brothel in Scranton. On the main street in Scranton. Not every brothel in Scranton. Every brothel on the main street.
And this podcast supports sex workers.
Yeah, we do. Fucking. He had. I think he had several illicit children with them. We found out from people taking genetic tests and being like, we think we're related, and we're like, probably from this guy.
Oh my god.
And
just getting calls.
yeah. We're like, well, you see. Yeah, we're like, oh, we never knew who the father was. It's like, well, we do.
Oh my
It's Max
god.
Katz. He owned a bar called Wonder Bar, and it was come see Max Katz and his kittens at Wonder Bar. And that's in the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania case.
Max Katz.
Yeah. And then he
be the people.
he got in trouble. He had a speakeasy during Prohibition, selling liquor and all that. I guess smuggling.
Well, that's fine. That's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, it makes sense.
Who
But
cares? Yeah. Whoa.
But yeah, he went to jail.
Yeah.
I think his brother was involved as well. I think his name was Mendel.
Mendel
and Max. Yeah. Either Mendel was Max's full name. He had a brother who was involved, and I think it was the same brother, but I'm not entirely sure.
Interesting.
But anyway, yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
It's interesting.
It's
you know
very
what I mean?
interesting.
Yeah.
Do you feel the need to perform organized crime? Do you
No.
have a thirst? Do you have a thirst at all?
No, I don't think so. But it is fascinating to go to. Well, so my dad is from Scranton.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just an interesting slice of the world. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very specific subset of the East Coast. I feel where it's I don't know, yeah, because I feel most of the stories I know of just whatever American Jews are New York and whatever Philly, LA, those type of areas, but Chicago, but yeah, there's also all these major cities that are a lot smaller, but that's where the communities are. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, you said your parents are from Lebanon. Do you have family here, or do you have family mostly there?
No one's there anymore.
No one's there anymore?
No one's there anymore.
Gotcha.
They got their passes and left.
Gotcha.
They had I mean, yeah.
Did they come here?
Some came here, some are in Mexico, some are in Brazil. Most tried to come here. I would say 75% got rejected. So they
Shit.
went to also Canada, and Montreal has a major Lebanese Jewish community.
Yeah, my grandfather's, he was born in Canada.
Okay.
On the one side, so they went to Canada. His side went to Canada first. I think they were from Austria.
Okay.
Austrian Jews. But sorry, what? There's a big population in Montreal.
In Montreal, yeah.
French Canadian Jews.
French Canadian Jews.
L'chaim, or what
Oh
I'm trying
my
to do.
god! Oh my god!
L'chaim.
I just want to give a shout out to Harrison Wine.
Yeah, shout out Harrison Weinrep. He's been on the pod.
I love him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So funny. You posted
He's
a
coming back soon.
very excited. So funny.
His stand-up clip is great.
The supermarket bit. Oh my god, it's my favorite thing in the world. It's so funny. And then like so I listened to that. I was like, damn, I need to like. I think that was like one thing I want to like try to like do a little bit more of is like, all right, can I take like a specific subject and just write a joke about it? So then I was like, okay, Harrison really cornered the supermarket thing. It's really really funny. Like, okay, maybe I just want to challenge myself, like, let's write a joke. Let me try to write a joke about supermarkets. Yeah, but it's like it's a nice exercise to just throw yourself just like, all right, you have to like find a way to come up with something on like this specific thing.
And you can see him do that where like he'll do like 10 tweets in a row about like garbage. You know what I mean? He'll be like, you ever notice that like garbage is stinky or something? Something funny though. He'll actually say, but he'll do, and you're like, oh, I can tell he's working on this like idea. Yeah, you know,
for sure. Yeah, can you tell that garbage is Benny Feldman?
No. If I get. We finally got talking about comedy. We really went down the Sephardic.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, I loved it. Okay. It's interesting stuff because I don't know too many people who are openly Sephardic, who are willing to admit it.
So many closeted Sephardis. I don't know. I do feel like this thing where you don't want
to be pigeonholed.
I don't want to be pigeonholed, but I do. But it's interesting that you brought up like, oh, are there shows about like Sephardic Jews, and it's like not really. Yeah, that's like that's like my hope. Like I really want to try to like do that, or like something of a similar vein. But yeah, comedy. We love it. Comedy. We love it.
I love comedy.
It's so much fun.
You don't talk too much about being Sephardic on stage. I know you have a couple bits, like the like Queen Isabella is a good bit.
Yeah. I haven't done that one in a minute. But yeah, it's
like it's like who you are, but it's not like who you are. It's not your personality.
Yeah. It's not entirely. Well, the one thing I've been talking about more is kind of like just more like specific to like my family. Just kind of like dynamics of like what that is like. Like I've been doing jokes recently about like my family like wanting me to get married and stuff like that, and my grandma trying to set me up with like 18-year-old girls. I'm like, yo, that's like haram. Like, I can't do that. So like,
you were just saying before we started the pod, you were saying like you're kind of having an epiphany about like your writing and getting your voice in writing.
Yeah.
What do you feel like has been that voice or epiphany? Like what's like getting more personal, or what's the?
I mean, I think it's a mix of just being more personal, or it's more so just like, just trusting my instincts. I think sometimes like I like try to get ahead of something by like, okay, this I know would go this way, or assuming that this would go this way, as opposed to just like being in the moment and just saying what's more top of mind, at least a little bit more, be a little bit more top of mind, and then gradually ease into like the material. Not so like, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna do this joke, I'm gonna do this joke, I'm gonna do this joke. Like I think it's just more fun, and I feel more free.
Zen Buddhist kind of. Like
it's very
present in the moment.
Listen. I took a
Sephardic Buddhist.
Sub-Buddhist. This is Sub-Buddhism. I don't know. I think that's just kind of been working for me a little bit more. Just like trusting yourself. And
is that that feels less like a material thing and more like a delivery idea? Is that kind of what you're saying?
It's really that. It's 100% that. I think like I feel like that's the thing I'm struggling most. It's just like consistency in delivery, because sometimes I can be more like high energy. Sometimes I'm just like a little bit lower energy, but you don't have to like necessarily like at least I don't feel like I need to like get into a specific character. I feel like I was too focused. Like what is my onstage persona?
Voice.
I
so
suppose
you
could just be yourself. Yeah. Like that is way easier, and it really took me so long to like come to that.
I do the best when I do my jokes conversationally. Like, you like I've got that joke where I end like the cicada joke. I go like autumn at the end of it.
Yeah,
and I'll still hit that specific beat, but the rest of the joke I'll say conversationally, and then specific note. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, because you need to have like a little of like the
here's a punchline.
Yeah, yeah. You need to make it easier on the audience to like really feel the punches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but you don't have to do setup voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like really just like kind of like work. Whatever. I mean, at first it works in the beginning to just like learn how to write jokes and just kind of like have like something to work with on stage. But yeah.
But then once you have that, you can.
You need to have. You need to just be. You just need
be
to
yourself.
Just be your damn self.
I don't know anything about rhythm, and people like I truly don't know anything about like music or rhythm or anything.
Me either.
And so, but people are like, I don't like so what, like I don't want to steal anybody's rhythm, and I can tell when somebody's doing somebody else's like voice or tone or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I just speak as myself, whatever my natural rhythm is, will be the joke. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can't steal somebody else's. You know what I mean? If I'm
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the rhythm of Tourette's, 100%. No one can steal
the metronome, the built-in metronome.
No, 100%. It's like a fingerprint for your joke, for like comedy. It's like, yeah, your natural voice is gonna be the hardest. It's something that you won't really replicate. Other people can't really replicate, or it can be assumed that it's taken off someone else.
And you can hear.
There are people who are. People
Yeah.
do sound the same and have like similar things, but
Yeah.
same time, like generally, the most tried and true way is just like be your damn self. And I don't know. It's just like a
cracking my back. Ooh, that's good. Good on.
How'd I feel?
That's
baby?
good. Hell yeah.
I just want. Sometimes I just want to have like a Tinder date or a girl come over and it's like, let's just crack each other's backs. Let's just really let's stretch. Let's just like really like let's just get our bodies right.
Just do some yoga or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's also like a social anxiety thing. I think it was like I had a hard time kind of like being myself on stage because I didn't really feel like I had a good understanding or confidence in who I was, and because like whatever, living at home for a while, being in like that religious environment, it kind of took some time to like shed layers off. So now I feel like I've kind of like have a better understanding of who I am as a person from that, and also like not feeling the need to like be as like what's the word, like not feeling ashamed about that. I think at first I was like, oh yeah, religious guy, it's people don't really like that, and I'm not like observant myself anymore and stuff like that, but just like having that life, I felt a little bit ashamed about it, but now I realize, oh yeah, literally nobody gives a fuck.
No, nobody cares.
Literally nobody cares.
Anything that was like forced upon you before you were 18, people are just like, yeah.
It's just
it's just everybody was forced to do a bunch of crap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I was just really, not really understanding that.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I was just like, not
it's like wherever you're at now is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like now I feel like, okay, I can kind of like be more myself a lot more on stage and just like whatever.
Definitely. I also something about the idea of like cringe and embarrassment stuff, or like anything that is embarrassing to you. It's like it should be more embarrassing to be judgmental about that sort of thing. You know what I mean? If somebody was deeply judgmental that somebody had a religious background, I'd be like, ew. Like, why are you being so rude? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm very judgmental of other religious freaks.
I'm judgmental if you're a grown ass person and you're being super religious. I'll be like, what the hell are you doing? But if you were raised that as a kid, I'd be like, sure, that happens to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And whoa, that thing happened to you. Whoa, shit. 100%. I think it's like
choice versus not choice. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, people have to deal with it. But yeah, I think comedy is like really, really nice way to kind of like explore how that fucked me up. I think that's the best part. Is like just like I don't know. This is so like moth storytelling shit. But I just feel like personally, like the reason, like a big part of stand up is just like It's just like trying.
Therapy.
Well, I would say like therapy. It's more so like you're trying to make yourself heard by someone or something that will that will never hear you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I feel like that's kind of like I feel like a lot of it does stem from like my relationship with my dad and like my stepdad in a way. I do want you guys to like I could do this thing. I want to be heard about these things, like, because this is what I can do. This is like a talent I have or something like that.
No, I see.
It's just like making yourself like, you try to build yourself up in this way. It's like, oh, I'm doing this thing. It's
yeah.
And I also have like this complex of like, I want to like show people like from like my community home, like, look, I could do this. it could exist in this world, and not necessarily out of ego, but also like I want people from back home to look and be like, oh, this thing is possible. Like there are other routes in my life beyond just like
that's
going.
That part feels more specific to that world.
Yeah,
but I do know what you mean. But like totally the idea of like, I think there's a lot of kind of what you're hitting on in my mind is like the ineffable like essence, and I think a lot of people that do art or creative stuff are like trying to convey some sort of general message that they can't without like you've got a series of ideas that you're trying to like get people to hear.
Yeah,
that it's like what if look at the world like this, and the specific, and I think in your case, my case as well, but for different people and different reasons.
Yeah,
we're trying to like, you want people to see it and go, oh, you know what I mean? I think
yeah, but also like realistically, do you feel like you go into you do a show somewhere, there's a crowd of people, do you really care for them to listen and hear you, as opposed to like other more people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, there's two parts in my head.
Okay.
Not specific strangers, but so yes, specific people I know for sure. Like yes. I am like I do. All part of my act is, everybody I've ever met is certainly influencing the act in some capacity.
Yeah.
But then the second part of it is the world at large, strangers in general as a collective, and it's like, I am would like to get my dumb little ideas into the zeitgeist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would, because I feel like I've got like the zeitgeist is one way, the entire culture is in one current state.
Yeah.
That's always shifting or whatever. And our little ideas, we can go boop. We can just like throw it in there.
It's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool because it could be like a little like ball pen, you know what I'm saying, like dye, and then like you throw it in the water, but then it could kind of like, and
you could see it
expand,
ripples.
ripple, and like the ink
and if
goes around, and it's like, oh,
I like that metaphor for the but then it's like it like causes more.
Tell me your better metaphor.
No. I'm trying to see if we can improve it because the ink gets like it gets watered down. You know what I mean? It's a bad metaphor. Let's make it better.
Oh my gosh!
Like dominoes or something. I like it. I see what you're saying. I'm like, well, the ink's gonna get it's gonna get spread out too thin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it will get spread out.
You're right.
Fucking guy.
It causes more ink capsules to burst.
Yeah, I don't know. Comedy's great. I really enjoy it. It's also like, I don't know. I'm trying to like find.
Is there a specific idea that you're really excited about getting into the culture?
Sorry. I think honestly, like, kind of like the idea that there are like, I don't know, there's other types of Jews out there. I think just kind of like that, like plainly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sephard's rule, Ashki's drool.
I mean, it's not really not that. I think it's
the Sephards exist.
You guys don't drool. You guys are way worse than that. No, I think it's like, I don't know. I just see it all. I just see it everywhere. Like everything's like, top Jewish foods or top places, top Jewish like everything's just centered around Ashkenazi. I'm just like kind of over it. And we're doing a better job, I think, of like having it a little bit more like having a little bit more inclusiveness. But I don't know. I just want a shot to like explore like what those stories are, because I think because the same way like we're talking about like Rami like kind of like influenced like it connected with me. I feel like our stories could connect with other cultures too, As, like even people that we know like in comedy, like I know that like I speak with, and we have like similar family structures, similar cultural like traditional shit that we do but we don't believe in, but we do it because just to fit in. It's just like all these things just kind of like impact your mental makeup a lot more, and it's it's just a nice way to connect with those things.
That's beautiful. I like the idea all the types of Jews exist. Sorry, we're actually hitting an hour. So wow. I was gonna see if you have anything you want to plug.
Anything I want to plug?
Sephardaism. The Mizraim.
I want to. I like to, I love to get a follow on Twitter. Followers on Twitter, that'd be nice.
What's your at?
At Elmann, spelled AELMANN. You want to hear something wild? When my first time I did comedy, I did a Bringer at Gotham.
Oh shit! That's the first time you did comedy.
First time I did comedy.
Nice.
I Bringer at Gotham, and this guy, the booker there, he was like, "Oh, what's your name?" I'm like, Ariel Elmann. He's like, "That is the worst name I've ever heard in comedy." I'm like, "We're really gonna start off like this?"
Damn! Wow!
We're
Holy
really
shit!
Gonna start, what a fucking asshole!
What a rude thing to say.
What an asshole!
Also, what the fuck? Anyway.
I don't know. And another thing's like,
I'll never do.
I have a show November 8th. James and Ebon show. Love those guys. I believe it's at Easy Lover, usually at 7. Follow the Instagram or Twitter for more information. But yeah, come out to that show. It's a fun show. I love James and Ebon.
Yeah, shout out James and Ebon. I want to have them both on that same time.
Oh my god,
do like a 3-person pod. That'd be great.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Do I have anything to plug? Not off the top of my head. The fucking JFL set is supposed to come out in mid-November on YouTube or something. Sick. It's already out, but only if you have a headset. You have to if you have a Meta headset, you can watch it. But
wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you annoyed at that?
I'm not allowed to say. I'm contract. No, yeah, of course. Yeah. What the fuck? I don't know. I mean, it's like
strictly on that. You can't watch it.
Yeah, they sponsored it, I guess. So, cause I don't know how much I'm supposed to. I don't know. Okay. I'll just be pleasantly happy about it. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's on the. Yeah. I think I'm not supposed to.
Okay, but I'm sure it was an awesome set, and I heard you crushed.
I don't want to be
absolutely crushed.
I don't want them to take it down if I speak ill, or some shit. Whatever. Fucking
Zuckerberg's cronies are at your door.
They watch my podcast. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's been I've been waiting for it to come out because I am stoked for it to come out. I don't know what I mean? A friend of mine actually did watch it. Like he borrowed a friend's headset and watced it.
Oh, sick. So what's the experience supposed to be like in the headset? Like
you. It's not like you're.
I've never tried VR.
It's not
really.
immersive. Okay. He said it's like it's like a screen.
It's not like you're touching.
It's not like you're there. Yeah, it's like I guess the implied idea for like a show in VR is that you would be like in the crowd.
Yeah.
But I think in this case it's just like you put the headset on and then you're in a room and there's a screen in the room where you just watch.
Are you fucking serious right now?
And I have no negative feelings about that.
Are you fucking serious? That is so sick. That is so awesome.
I
would be
cool as hell.
I'd be so pumped about that.
That's awesome.
I was so pumped about the meta-ness of that. That is really cool.
Yep.
That's really sick.
That's and I listen. But just speaking for real for a moment, JFL was very awesome, and I am excited for the clip to come out so I can finally be like. Ta-da.
Is it like I feel like it's like I don't know. Is it like comedy all-star weekend, that type of thing, where it's just like you're just like meeting a lot of different people from
it was cool
across the things. Yeah,
I think Yeah, it was great. I don't know. I'll talk more about it on the Patreon. How about that?
Sounds good.
Folks, go to the Patreon. Bye.